two perennial powers. Time runs out, gets away, spins. They get out from the shadow of their own goalpost. What a throw by Kwiatkowski. Has some time, doesn't have anybody open. He's in real danger as he gets touchdown. Welcome to the south side of Chicago and to Gately Stadium for tonight's Cn100 high school game of the week. It's an 8A quarterfinal game in the state playoffs as Marist takes on Mount Carmel. Hello everybody, I'm Jim Blaney along with Kenny McReynolds. Two 9-2 teams in this game tonight trying to stay alive in a very tough 8A bracket. And Kenny, pretty simple for Marist. If they win the game tonight, it's the biggest win in the history of their program.
Well, Jim, I think anybody that beats Mount Carmel, they always feel it's the biggest win in the history of the program. But you're right, Marist with a big win last week, they're looking for another big upset tonight.
We have talked throughout these playoffs about how difficult this section of the bracket is in 8A. Mount Carmel had to take out an outstanding Lincoln Way East team last Friday night, Kenny, in a shootout, won that game by 4.
Well, you know what? I thought that was probably the best high school football game I've seen in a long time. It was a shame somebody had to lose, but the Caravan survived. They're looking for another big win tonight.
The quarterbacks will be the main focus of this game tonight. Mike Parrish for Marist. Kenny, he does it all. He piles up huge numbers.
Well, he's piled up huge numbers, Jim. When you talk about a quarterback, this young man has thrown the ball 251 times. Look at the touchdowns, 20 touchdowns, 1,800 yards. Hey, he also can run a little bit, Jim. 4 rushing touchdowns.
And for Mount Carmel, their quarterback, their senior, their leader, Jordan Lynch, had an unbelievable game last week against Lincoln Way East.
Well, you know what? He's a big play guy. He's the difference maker for this Mount Carmel team. You could talk all night about Jordan Lynch. He doesn't throw the ball much. He's 63 out of 102 for 1,041 yards and 15 touchdowns passing. But, Jim, he's like another running back in the backfield. Over 700 yards rushing with 14 rushing touchdowns.
So for Mount Carmel, they're looking for another victory in what they hope is a march toward a state championship. For Marist, this very well could be the biggest night in the history of their high school football program if they can win this game. It's an outstanding matchup, and we'll have it for you next right here on CN100. We're back with the starting lineups and the opening kickoff after this timeout.
You're watching the Comcast Network, CN100, Chicago. Comcast and the Chicago Slaughter are teaming up to bring you the hard-hitting action of arena football. CN100, the Comcast Network, is now the official home for Slaughter football. Kicking off March 2009. Visit the Sears Center to see head coach Steve McMichael lead the Slaughter into battle for the CIFL Championship. Then catch all the excitement again on Comcast Digital Channel 100 or Comcast On Demand. Order your tickets for this action-packed season by visiting ChicagoSlaughter.com.
Get it when you want it. It's CN100, now on demand from Comcast. Access all of our award-winning programs at the touch of a button. From an athlete's tackle to politicians tackling issues, it's entertainment you want and information you deserve. From across Chicagoland to the very heart of your community, it's CN100's original programming on demand from Comcast. Now, go get some.
Welcome back. It's a packed house tonight at Gately Stadium for this 8A quarterfinal game. It's Marist against Mount Carmel here on the CN100 high school game of the week. Coverage of tonight's game is sponsored by Comcast. Digital cable with on-demand, high-speed internet with Power Boost, and reliable home phone service. Get all 3 great products on one convenient bill. Call 1-888-4BEST-TV and ask about the triple play. Jim Blaney along with Kenny McReynolds for tonight's game. And joining us down on the sidelines is Eric Schmidt. Eric?
Hi, Jim. Boy, and when you talk about Marist's season so far, you have to talk about their character. Not only last week, but all season, but especially in their win against Naperville North last week, a previously undefeated team, number 2 seed. So a little bit of surprise to see Marist in this position, but they were down 2 touchdowns, 2 scores in the 4th quarter, and with 2 minutes left, they were able to score twice. could have won that game at the end of regulation on that last one, but Ben Falloon, the kicker, had his point after attempt blocked, but showing his character, came right back in overtime and nailed the game-winning field goal. Marist head coach Pat Dunn told me this is one of the most focused groups of kids he's ever been around. And guys, I'll tell you what, judging by the atmosphere on the field, they're going to have to stay focused to be able to win this, garden variety neighborhood state quarterfinal game. Let's go back up to you for the action.
Eric, thank you very much. If you went down in the field prior to the game, I mean, all the coaches from both teams were talking to each other. They've known each other a long time. It is kind of a backyard game here tonight. But make no mistake about it, this is an enormous game for the Marist program. It's big for Mount Carmel too, don't get me wrong, but the Marist kids this would be a win they'd remember for a long time. Mount Carmel will kick off to get the game going. Nico Rodriguez will kick off. He was outstanding last week against Lincoln Way East. Christian Matthews and Bill Seiler are deep to receive for Marist. Rodriguez will be kicking with the win, Kenny.
And Jim, I think Rodriguez was the reason Mount Carmel won that game last Friday night.
Rodriguez showed a lot of leg going with the win. And he'll pop this one up, and this will be into the end zone, and that will be a touchback. Marist will get it going. 1st and 10 from their own 20-yard line going into the wind. And we should mention that last week in the game the wind was a factor. It very well may be in this game too. Let's take a look at the Marist offense as they come out on the field. Mike Parrish, 67% completion percentage. That is unbelievable. Seiler and Skolitsky roll up a lot of yardage.
But, I was talking to Coach Lynch before the game, and we talked so much about Parrish. He said, you know what? They have an outstanding running game also. Don't forget about their running game.
Parrish will go out of the shotgun. He has the fake to go on 1st down, and then that's dropped to get us going. And that was picked up. Was that ruled a lateral? And he picked it up. Sure looks like it. Nobody blowing the play dead. And it's not a completion. It's a fumble recovery, essentially, on the first play of the game.
Well, always something different to start the game.
Here is the defense for Mount Carmel. They have held 8 of their last 11 opponents to 14 points or less. They are picking up steam as the season goes along.
And we mentioned Karin Johnson's name an awful lot last week.
Adam Lawler comes out to the left. Parrish is in the shotgun once again. And off of the snap, out of bounds, but it will be a 1st down out to the 33-yard line. So Seiler gets the carry and has a 1st down.
Well, it almost looked like it's a direct snap to Seiler.
Right.
Well, we talked about, don't forget their running game, because they have a good offensive line and they have a good running game. We talked so much about their passing, but Jim, I tell you, this is a good team.
37 degrees right now, and believe me, that temperature is dropping. The wind is coming out of the northwest at 13, and may freshen. The question is, will we get this game in before the cold front moves in tonight? It is supposed to get very cold, and I'll guarantee you these two teams are very happy they're playing tonight, because the teams playing on Saturday are going to be very, very cold. Parrish in the shotgun on 1st down and 10. He'll hand it off. This is Seiler, goes the right side, takes it out to the 40-yard line, maybe out to the 41 before he's brought down. In Marist, and their student faithful watching them play are moving the ball quite nicely to get it going here.
They're doing a great job moving the ball, and they're doing it, Jim, on the ground. Here it is again. You hand it off to Seiler. You get the good block there by the right guard, and they're running that right side, and they're getting a lot of yardage on the ground against the Caravan early in the 1st quarter.
Marist, a big surprise winner last week over Naperville North, and the kicking game proved to be the difference in the game. It was basically whoever was the first team to make a kick won the game, whereas Mount Carmel, Lincoln Way East, maybe some of the best special teams play we've seen all year between two teams. Parrish in the shotgun, all sorts of motion. That was forward motion, and then the ball was snapped directly to one of the men in motion, who was Christian Matthews, and he dropped the football, and that play just gets a big U by it for ugly. Joseph Slayton, our referee tonight, he'll make the call.
Dead ball. Illegal procedure on the offense.
Well, there's a lot of movement. Just a ton of movement on that play, Jim.
Looked like Canadian football out there for a moment.
Everybody was moving.
So now it is 2nd down and 7. And the lone back in the backfield is Parrish, and he will hand to Seiler, try to find some room around the right side. Nice tackle made on the far side of the field at the 35-yard line to bring him down. Nathan Ollie, the big nose tackle, moving nicely down the line of scrimmage to make the play.
Boy, great job of pursuit by Ollie, the 6'1", 250-pound defensive lineman. But they've decided, Jim, that they're going to keep this ball on the ground, it seems like. We came in talking so much about a quarterback, Parrish, that has thrown for over 1,800 yards. But it's obvious they want to mix things up, but they're going to keep it on the ground. Looks like so far they've seen something that they like, that they feel they can run against the Caravan.
Well, there hasn't been a passing situation until now. 3rd down and 6 from the 36. Parrish will throw, has a completion, and has a first down right in front of the Mount Carmel bench. Was right on target as he finds Dan Pico.
And did you notice where Pico was? Right to the first down marker, steps right behind it, gets the first down, knowing where he was on the field.
10-yard pickup on the play.
Now watch Pico coming out of the shotgun, and he'll go right to that first down marker, step right behind it, gets his first down. That is what you call knowing where you were on the field.
That pass went through the hands of Brett Kapchak. He very nearly knocked it down. So out of the shotgun again, Parrish has a completion. Now he will run it. Has some blocking, goes right side, picks up about 4 yards to midfield before he's brought down. It'll be 2nd down and 6.
Parrish had 3 wide to the left side, but on the quarterback keeper. And Jim, if you notice, when they run the ball, watch this. They're going to the right side. On the quarterback keeper, he's going right to the right side. That time, he gets his block from his running back. But it's something about that right side. They feel they can run the ball.
They have done so far. 2nd down and 6 from midfield. Parrish drops. He throws quickly right on the money. He has a completion right again in front of the Mount Carmel bench, just beyond the yardage stake. Dan Pico again has a first down.
Boy, another first down. He does a good job getting to that yardage marker. Here it is again. Plenty of time to block, Jim. Offensive line doing a great job there. You can see right at the first down marker. And again, Marist on the move.
That is a very difficult play to defend. It's just basically step and throw. They rule Pico stepped out of bounds just in front of the marker. So it will be 3rd down, and it looks to be about a foot with the ball sitting on the Mount Carmel 44-yard line.
Yeah, that's less than a foot.
And this time, Parrish will take it himself. He will get the first down. And the Marist drive that started with the opening kick has now gone for just under 4 minutes. They are moving the ball nicely and gaining some confidence.
And he only needed less than a yard, nothing fancy, just lined up underneath the center and gets the yard that he needed. Boy, their confidence has to be sky high.
The hardest thing to do for a coach getting ready to play Mount Carmel is convince his guys they're not giants. And you know what Mount Carmel really is? They never are a huge football team. They just have all sorts of guys who can run around and make plays, and they know how to play football.
And great coaching.
1st down and 10. Seiler takes it to the right side, has some room, goes across the 40. He's tripped up and taken down at the 38-yard line. So on that play, a gain of about 5. It'll be 2nd and 5.
And Jim, watch the tackle by Demetrius Carr. Here he is again. Seiler goes to the outside. Once he turns that corner, now watch Carr. He'll come in right there and bring him down. That's a great tackle.
One thing that has been impressive as we get a Mount Carmel timeout on defense, one thing that's been impressive so far about Marist is the fact that they have been very content to get their little bit of yardage and keep moving the chains along. They have not been trying to bust big plays. They have been very, very patient in their offense, and so far they have been very, very effective in it. Game of the Week's postseason coverage concludes next week with semifinal action. Tune in to Cn100 on Saturday, November 22nd at noon to see who advances to the state finals in Champaign. For game matchups plus additional air dates and times, visit cn100.tv.
And Jim, while I have a chance here, I have to say a great thank you to Calvin Davis, the head of Chicago Public Schools Sports Administration, for letting us use his private box here at Gately Stadium.
And the best part about it is it's nice and warm in here.
Nice and warm in here.
We are toasty. This place is jam-packed, Kenny. It's been a long time since I have seen the visiting stands at a high school game as packed in as they are on the Marist side of the field. You're looking at some of the Mount Carmel fans, and of course, the right honor to Our Lady of Mount Carmel, that the Mount Carmel guys hang from the goalpost before every game. This is Mount Carmel's home stadium where they play all their home games. 10th play of the drive coming up. Marist has looked very efficient. They have looked very good so far. Mike Parrish has been on the money running the offense. Straight drop back, not much pressure, throws over the middle. What a completion. Nick Valla was covered, and the throw was absolutely perfect. It's another first down for Marist. They have the ball all the way down at the Mount Carmel 23-yard line.
What a catch by Valla, though. Here it is again. Now watch the offensive line. He has all time, kind of time to throw. He throws it right to the spot. Valla is covered, but still comes away with a nice catch, as he was really great coverage by Demetrius Carr. But Valla with the outstanding catch.
And a gain of 16 on the play. That's a big-time throw. Most high school quarterbacks would not even attempt that throw. 7:07 remaining here in the first quarter. Marist on the move and now threatening to score. Parrish runs with it. He goes over the right side, does not get very far. Taken down as he got almost to the 20-yard line. We'll give him a gain of 3 on the play. 2nd down and 7 coming up.
Parrish has been very impressive in this opening drive, Jim, and he's only a junior. Do you think the colleges will be knocking down the door next year?
They will be finding their way out to the Marist campus. Stop by Kenny's house.
I was about to say, stop by my house on the way. Only if you have food.
And the most important thing about this drive right now for Marist is they've burned up almost the entire first half of the first quarter without Jordan Lynch getting on the field. Parrish has a couple of mates in the backfield. He'll drop back. He takes a look. Max protect. Goes for the corner of the end zone. Has his man for a moment. The ball was just a little bit underthrown. It was Carr out there on the coverage. Valla was the intended target.
Well, I tell you, Jim, a lot of little contact out there, but just a great defensive play, too. You can see, boy, that offensive line gives him a lot of time. He got hit at the end, but I tell you what, that's good coverage as well.
That was Kosi on the coverage, 4, not 24. And that, it looked like Parrish did not get a full chance to step into that throw. He had to saw it off a little bit, and the ball fluttered a bit on him. 6:07 remaining in the first quarter.
This has been a very impressive drive. Now you're going to have a passing situation probably at 3rd and 8.
Right. And you're into the wind, so the question becomes, do you take 2 shots at getting a first down? We shall see. Roll out to the left. Parrish sets up. He throws, has a man wide open. Valla will take it inside the 5-yard line. 1st and goal for Marist from the 4.
Well, when he needs a big play, he certainly comes up with it. He has come up with every big play. Watch Valla and Parrish. Here it is again, rolling to the right. Rolling. He's wide open, Jim. Nobody on him. And he gets the reception, gets inside up the 5-yard line. 1st and goal for Marist High School.
Valla has caught 12 touchdowns during the course of the season. He might very well be the target for the next couple of plays.
Has a great knack for getting open.
Pico will go out wide to the left. This time Valla lines up in the slot to the right, as the near side of the field is the left side of the field. Parrish, hands off. Seiler goes up the middle, battles his way to about the 2-yard line before he's brought down. 2nd and goal coming up. Clock rolling, 5:20 left.
Not much there for Seiler, but earlier in this quarter, he had such good success going to the right side. I'm surprised he just decided to go up the middle. He has such a great quarter going outside to their right.
Ball sitting just inside the 2-yard line. It's been a very impressive drive. 15 plays, 7 minutes, and counting up.
And that keeps Jordan Lynch off the field. You can have a 7-minute drive.
Valla is wide to the right. Pico is down at the bottom of your screen on the left. Parrish under center. He snuck it out of this formation the last time. Seiler tries to go up the middle. He did not get there. Knocked down just inside the 1-yard line. 3rd down and goal coming up.
Well, he jumped way too soon. I mean, he took off too soon. He didn't get a step, Jim. Here it is again. You hand it off to him, he jumps right there. And he's not even close. He needs to take another step or 2 before he tries to dive over the pile.
You saw Jeremy Johnson make the hit, but trust me, Chris Barcelona got in there and got an arm on him and slowed him down first. So 3rd down and goal with the ball probably about 4 feet from the goal line. Valla is out to the right. Pico is out to the left. Parrish under center. Gets the handoff, and it looked like the ball didn't get snapped when Parrish wanted it. And they're pointing like they're going to step it off against Marist.
Dead ball. Encroachment. Defense.
Wow.
Wow. Mount Carmel.
So now we have 2 feet to go before the ball ends up in the end zone. Well, the sneak worked very well the last time. Let's see if they go back to it.
I like the old-fashioned play with just the center and the quarterback move. Go straight across.
And I'm going to tell you right now, Kenny, that if I'm Marist and I don't make it here, I go for it on 4.
Oh, no question.
As long as it's not a huge loss. Parrish didn't get in.
Didn't get in.
He keeps pushing it forward. He did move it forward about a foot, but he's short of the goal line. 4th down. Let's see what Pat Dunn and the Marist Redhawks do now.
Boy.
The players are all saying, let's go for it.
I think you go for it, too.
I do, too.
I think you go for it.
Because if you don't make it, then Mount Carmel's got to go 99 yards.
Here it is again, and the center snaps it, and he's waiting for him to go right behind him.
The Marist student body on their feet.
Looked like he lost a yard, Jim.
Yeah, he's now back to the 1-yard line. Yeah. They mark it on the 1. The Redhawks will go for it. 4th down and goal for the 1-yard line. They'll go out of the shotgun. Parrish starts to run. He gets toward the goal line. Touchdown, Marist. They lead 6-0. That drive took a total of 9 minutes and 6 seconds.
And again, he goes to the right side. That has been their bread and butter in this entire drive. They've done such a great job on the ground going to the right. So when he went up the middle a couple of times, it didn't work. But when they went to the right side, off tackle right, they were able to gain ground and yardage. This time, a touchdown.
Ben Falloon in to attempt the extra point. He had a bit of an adventure last week against Naperville North, but he won the game with a field goal, and he knocks through an extra point here. And if you're the Marist Redhawks, could you have scripted a more perfect opening to the game?
16-play drive. Take up most of the first quarter. Here it is again, Jim. See, he does a good job when he goes to the right, and that's what they've been doing all afternoon, all evening, going to the right side, doing such a great job. And there you see the touchdown coming right into your living room, going right off tackle. A couple of good blocks, stand guys up, rolls in for the Marist touchdown.
So Jordan Lynch and the Mount Carmel Caravan will finally get a chance at having a football. But what a drive by the Marist Redhawks to get this game started.
Boy, you're right. You could not have scripted this any better. To take that much time off the clock to keep Jordan Lynch on the sideline. That was unbelievable.
You're looking over the Marist bench at the Marist student body. That is the visiting side stands here at Gately Stadium. And if the guys zoom out and kind of pan, you are going to see they are absolutely packed in over there on the Marist side of the field. And they have some of the youth program players down along the sides, and they're packed in.
Yeah, everywhere.
It is unbelievable how many people are wedged in here tonight. 17 plays, 80 yards, 906. You can't ask for more than that. What balance, too. 43 yards passing, 37 yards running. They converted 3 third downs and 1 fourth. Here comes the kick from Falloon. He'll kick it to the far side of the field. And the return is on to the right. This is Butler. He comes upfield to about the 28-yard line, and that's where the Marist guys gather around him. And the boy's a little feisty after the play. They couldn't actually get him down. The whistle had blown a long time ago. By the way, Bob Sakamoto, the Tribune, is up here with us. He says 7,000. He counted them all.
Okay.
Every single one of them.
And Roy Curry from the Chicago Public School Sports Administration is in here with us.
Here we go with the Mount Carmel offense. Stanford and Greer, the running backs. Greer and Lynch did most of the rushing damage last week in the victory over Lincoln Way East. Picard is the main receiver, and he's out wide to the right. 1st and 10 for Mount Carmel.
A blitz.
Lynch hands off up the middle to get it started. Pretty good carry, about 5 yards on the play. And that was Greer on the carry. Be 2nd down and 5. One thing you don't have to worry about with Mount Carmel, they'll be patient on offense. The Marist defense, you know what? They've gotten the job done. Jefferson had an outstanding game against Naperville North last week.
But Jim, I think one key would be, can the defense of Marist keep up with the quickness of Mount Carmel's offense? Because Jordan Lynch is extremely quick.
And the reason why Jordan Lynch had so many rushing yards last week is because Lincoln Way East took away his options, so he just kept the football. 2nd down and 5. Lynch being very patient, goes down the line. Here's the pitch for Greer. He has a 1st down and more. He's down the sideline, 1 man to beat. Greer is gone. Greer takes it all the way. 66 yards for a touchdown. Mount Carmel an extra point away from tying it up.
The quickness of Mount Carmel's offense.
And the danger of the option.
Can the defense keep up with that quickness? Boy, it didn't take long, did it? Milton Greer.
That was an amazing play, Kenny. It was a great decision by Jordan Lynch. Obviously, the film showed that you could make him keep the football, but he definitely waited till the last second, got it to Greer, and he was gone. And now Rodriguez in to attempt the extra point. And Rodriguez, just as he did last week, he misses his first extra point attempt.
Remember, it's early, but that can always come back to be crucial.
Take that back. It was Lincoln Way East that missed the extra point last week. Let's take a look at the replay.
Well, here it is again, Jim. He runs the option so well. Waits to the last minute. Just before he's hitting, he throws it back to Greer. Once he turns that corner, he just outruns everybody. Try to tackle him up high. You're not going to bring him down with a high tackle. And Greer's off to the races, 66 yards for the touchdown.
When he's in film session, they'll say, don't look back, though.
Yeah, don't look back. Just keep going.
The only thing you're going to see is somebody catching you, so just run.
2 plays, 72 yards, 1 minute and 3 seconds.
We had a 9-minute, 6-second drive for a touchdown and a 1-minute-3 drive for a touchdown. 7-6 Marist leads. Let's go down to Eric Schmidt. Eric.
You know, Jim, you're talking about all the people here, and this game is so important, especially for Marist. They're coming off such an emotional win last week, playing a team they recruit against, such a storied program, really sensory overload for these guys. And Pat Dunn simply told his staff and players this week just to focus on the things between the lines, focus on what you can control, tune out the hype, tune out the student body, and I bet he told them to tune us out, too. What do you think about that?
Don't tell too many people to do that, though. Matthews and Seiler are deep to receive the kick. Rodriguez lets it fly, gets it up in the air, and Matthews drops into the end zone, and that will be a touchback. So 2 for 2 on touchbacks for Rodriguez in the game.
I don't know what sensory overload means, but it's a big game.
Frank Lenti on the sidelines, as usual for Mount Carmel. Frank's seen all this before, hasn't he, Kennedy?
Yeah, he has been in every situation
what
you could possibly think about.
What else is new? We have no leaves in the trees left, and Mount Carmel still playing football.
Not a surprise.
They made it to the 8A semis last year. Their season ended on this very field when they lost to Glenbard North. But now there's light for the teams in 8A, Kenny. There's now light at the end of the tunnel because you're down to the quarters. It's what looked like a very difficult bracket to get through. If you're still playing, you've got as good of a chance as anybody. Parrish back to throw, has time running out, and he's able to get away and scramble around. He ends up getting back to the 15-yard line. He's going to lose 5 on the play. The guy that finally corralled him was Barcelona.
Yeah, Barcelona right there, Jim. He loses 5 on a play, but I tell you what, he did a great job of scrambling to get out because he could have lost a lot more. Here comes the pressure. He shows good quickness before Barcelona brings him down for a 5-yard loss. He could have lost a lot more than 5 on that play.
It was Nathan Alley that flushed him out, and then Barcelona cleaned it up. One of the very few significant negative plays. They had a couple down near the goal line before they scored the touchdown, but now Mount Carmel with 1st down and 14 in their favor on defense. Parrish, he rolls to his right, trying to find somebody open, finally throws it and just airmails it into the bench.
Well, he had nothing there, Jim, and that's a sign of a good quarterback. Instead of taking a sack, he just threw it out of bounds. He didn't want to lose yardage. Well, something that Mount Carmel saw after that opening drive, they're not going to drive up and down the field this easily as they did the first time they had the ball.
We've heard from Joseph Slayton a couple times tonight. He's helped out by William Fields, Howard Harris, Alonzo Smiley, and Calvin White here at Gately Stadium.
Well, big situation now for Marist. But one thing you know about Mount Carmel, they make adjustments, and they've done it well so far this series.
Parrish spreads it out with 4 wides. They'll hand off, and that play goes nowhere. Ali makes the tackle on Seiler after a gain of about 3. I find that a little bit of a curious play call on 3rd and long, Kenny.
Yeah, he just goes with the draw. I guess he feels maybe I can catch him off guard looking for the pass, but there's absolutely nothing there. Ali plugs up the hole.
Ali at 250, Seiler at 180. And Butler now is going to receive the punt. And this punt will be into the wind, so Mount Carmel may get very, very good field position out of this. Back to punt for Marist is P.J. Saratori. High snap. Saratori flags it down, gets off a pretty good kick considering the snap and the wind. It takes a Marist bounce, and it's going to roll into Mount Carmel territory and stop dead at about the 47-yard line. That could have been disaster. It turned out to be not so bad for Marist. We are through 1 quarter of play at Gately Stadium. Both teams have scored a touchdown. Mount Carmel missed their extra point. That's the difference in the game. Marist 7, Mount Carmel 6 in the Cn100 high school game of the week.
This fall, the IHSA football playoffs are on My 50 Chicago, Cable 8, starting November 22nd at 7. 2 teams battle for a shot at the championship in an IHSA semifinal. Then, on November 28th and 29th, My 50 carries 8 IHSA championship games. 24 hours of live coverage featuring the best high school teams in Illinois and Chicago. My 50 Chicago, Cable 8, your source for IHSA football.
As a reminder to our viewers, the My 50 IHSA Network semifinal game and the Thanksgiving weekend state championship games can be seen on Comcast Channel 8. Apart from the great coverage by our friends from the IHSA Network, our Comcast Network is bringing you 2 quarterfinal games this weekend and 2 semifinal games next weekend right here on Cn100. Comcast is proud to partner with the IHSA to showcase the best in Illinois high school sports. In the first quarter, Kenny, total plays from scrimmage, Mount Carmel, 2, Marist 20.
Wow.
And yet it is a 1-point game. Second possession of the game for Mount Carmel. They have very good field position at their own 48.
I see it right there.
Lynch, he'll keep looking for a pitch, not able to find anywhere to go with it, just ducks his head under, gets it out toward midfield. He was taken down by Colin Monier.
Well, right before the ball game, I saw Jordan Lynch's mom, and I asked her, did he eat anything special today? Does he have any superstitions? She told me no. He just shows up and plays.
And he played marvelously well. Now there is the Mount Carmel side of the field.
Wow. Look at all these people.
I mean, this is amazing. You have to remember, there's not a lot of kids that go to these 2 schools, but the alumni base, they come out for these football games. 2nd down and 9 from the 49. And Marist loading up to stop the run, so it's a pass, and it's incomplete. Butler had to get into a little bit of an awkward position to try and catch that. And now all of a sudden, Marist on defense, they've backed Mount Carmel into a 3rd and 9.
And I guarantee you, Butler will tell you that I should have looked that into my hands, and I probably would have had it. Maybe trying to move a little quicker before the ball was actually into his hands. Let's see, does he take his eye off the ball? Here it is again. You swing it out to him. Right through. So, the Marist defense answering the challenges.
And remember, Mount Carmel, if they don't pick up a first, they would be punting into the wind. Lynch goes in the split backfield. Play fake. Scrambles up. He has a lot of room. Lynch, he's to the 45. They'll have a first down across the 40. He's down to the 35-yard line before he's finally brought down. Big play on 3rd down. The Caravan, they move the chains, and they keep the football.
Boy, he does such a great job, Jim. Once he gets into an open field, he's like having another running back in your backfield. He decides there's nothing there. If you watch, he'll make the move there. Kingsbury trying to catch him. He goes right by him for the first down.
Ball now sitting on the Marist 33-yard line.
Boy, is he quick.
And that little subtle move on Kingsbury. Because Kingsbury had him. He wouldn't have had a first down. All that Lynch did was drop that shoulder, and that gave him enough room to go and get a first down. 10:47 remaining in the quarter. Lynch hands to Greer, bounces through the line, gets down to the 25-yard line before he's brought down. But it's a gain of 8 on the play, bringing up 2nd down and 2.
Well, what a nice job of putting that ball right into Greer's midsection. And then it looked like he was going to bring it back out himself. But Greer kept it and gets good yardage. But look how he really puts it into the breadbasket there, and he brings it out. You look to see, does he have the ball? But no, he keeps it to Greer, who picks up good yardage now, will be 2nd and 2.
Caravan starting to pick up a little bit of momentum because of the long run by Greer for the touchdown. They only had 2 plays in that opening drive. Ball sitting now on the 25-yard line. See what Mount Carmel starts to do here. Will they drop back and try and throw one, or will they just keep the momentum going? Lynch He'll keep. And he's strung out down the line, now turns it up. He's across the 20, has a first down, taken down inside the 10-yard line. First and goal for Mount Carmel from the 7.
Boy, but what a great block by Joe Daly. Joe Daly on the outside with the block to your screen. Now watch Daly to the right of your screen. Here's the pitch. Now watch Daly right there with the key block there to open him up. First down, Caravan. Great job of blocking by Daly.
Greer's been getting a little bit of rest lately, gets the carry. Greer so far, this is what happens when you have a 60-yard run for a touchdown. 4 carries, 97 yards.
Pretty good day's work.
That's a 24.25 average per carry, by the way, Kenny. And the carry goes to the right side. Touchdown, Mount Carmel. Greer with his 2nd touchdown of the night. And the Caravan leading by a score of 12-7.
Off the option, going to the right side. Caravan go in. Mr. Greer looks like he may be a little tired, but hey, I'm sure, Jim, in a situation like this, he'll say, just give me the football.
17th touchdown of the year for Greer, and because Mount Carmel missed the extra point on the first touchdown, they will now try and go for 2 here.
And when you have Lynch out there,
well,
you've got that option, and they do it so well.
Lynch, fake, he keeps. He's got a blocker, he's in. 2-point conversion, Mount Carmel. They lead 14-7.
Boy, he followed Andrew Rosner, but he could have walked in. Quarterback roll.
Jerry Kill up in Northern Illinois watching this play is thinking, yep, that's going to be my guy. As Lynch has announced that he intends on signing with Northern Illinois.
Boy, nice little rollout. He followed Rosner. He just walked in. This is the touchdown of your handoff to Greer. Goes in, gets by a couple of tacklers. 4. The touchdown. Here's the touchdown again. Look at Greer down low, uses the shoulder, bounces off a tackler. 6 points. Here's the 2 points. Look at Ross. Say, can I hit somebody? Like there was nobody to hit. Said, let me hit somebody.
The way this game has developed is very interesting because that first drive of the game was so impressive by Marist, and yet the air has totally gone out of that balloon now because Mount Carmel has had the ball twice and they've scored.
8 plays, 52 yards, 2 minutes and 43 seconds off of the clock.
And I'll guarantee you that people on the Marist side of the field are looking up the scoreboard and they're saying, how in the world did we get behind?
What a running game. Also, let's give credit to the offensive line because I don't care how good your running game may be. The guys up front, they don't get the credit. And they have been pretty doggone good tonight.
Matthews and Seiler are deep to receive. They should get a chance at it into the wind. Time of possession of the game, 10:54 Marist, 3:45 Mount Carmel. And we will have a whistle and a flag. And Matthews would have gotten a chance to return, and the flag went in the area of offside or illegal procedure. It's illegal procedure is the call.
Against the Caravan.
Yes. So they will do it again.
Move it back 5.
Kenny and I were here earlier in the season for a game between Julian and Hubbard, and we saw 2 kick returns for touchdowns to open the game.
Right. First 2 possessions.
We ran off, what, a total of about 20 seconds off the clock. We had 2 touchdowns on the board.
Always exciting football here at Gately Stadium.
Was a little warmer that night, too.
Yeah, a lot warmer.
It's like the second week of September, I think it was. Long time ago now. Rodriguez will try it again. Seiler and Matthews are, I'm sure, just kind of salivating back there right now. They're going to get a chance to make a return here. Rodriguez drives it low and drives it deep. Pretty good kick toward the sideline, and it's picked up by Matthews, and he steps out of bounds, and Marist will have the ball at their own 8-yard line.
Yeah, he picked it up and stepped out of bounds. Here it is again. That's a nice drive kick. See, now it'll come. Instead of letting it bounce, he touches it out of bounds.
You know what, Kenny? I will guarantee you all of a sudden in the brain, he just forgot what the rules are on that.
Exactly.
Ball at the Marist 8-yard line, and now maybe a game-changing moment for the Mount Carmel defense. Parrish and the Marist offense have, first of all, got to get a first down and get some room. Parrish out of the shotgun. He'll roll to his left. He looks, he fires, has a completion out to the 15-yard line, and then getting away is Pico, and he'll have a first down.
What a great individual effort and second effort by Pico by not going down, getting enough to get that first down. He was stopped, but he just wouldn't go down, put the shoulder down. Here it is again. Now watch Pico. He'll get hit, and he just put the shoulder down. And he just refuses to go down. And he continues to just go over there. And Pico, that's a great individual effort.
Parrish with a nice throw, pick up a 13. So Marist accomplishes their job one. They get out from the shadow of their goalpost. Now let's see if they can put a drive together. Be a handoff up the middle and a gain of about, well, we'll say about 2 on the play, don't you think?
I'll give him 1.5 maybe.
That was a carry by Seiler.
Well, they were able to run that ball like that early in the first quarter, Jim, but the Caravan defense, they've closed those gaps. There has not been much there since they were able to be run on early. Let's take a look at Coach Linty.
It's like we have the Simeon coaches visiting here tonight, Kenny.
Okay. They're still alive in the Prep Bowl playoffs.
8:35 remaining in the second quarter. Second down and 8 from Marist. They have it on their own 23-yard line. Parrish hands to Seiler. He'll take it up the middle, just churning his legs. And he'll get it out to about the 34-yard line. So a very manageable 3rd down and 3 coming up for Marist.
Here it is again, Jim. You're right. Very manageable 3rd down and 3. And hands it right off. And just keep the legs churning, and gets into pretty good territory if you're Marist now with your 3rd and 2.
Marist on the opening drive of the game, they were a perfect 3 for 3 for 3rd down, and then of course they punted on their last possession. Parrish runs, he pitches, trying to get to the outside is Seiler. He will not get there. Seiler tried to turn the corner. Michael Banks, the sophomore, just smacked him.
Well, Banks smacked him, but Carr wouldn't let him turn the corner. Give Carr a lot of credit there because Carr would not let him turn that corner. He was trying to turn the corner, but Carr strung him out. Here it is again. You pitch it right at the last minute. Now watch Carr. See, Carr won't let him turn that corner. Then Banks comes up and gives him a good shot.
How about the price that Parrish paid for pitching it? Because Ollie nailed him.
Ollie nailed him.
Ollie got him.
Boy, but Carr would not let him turn that corner. He strung him out. Then Banks came up with the nice hit.
Remember, it was a high snap on the first punt for Marist. This one is nice and clean. What a great kick. Straight up in the air, beautiful spiral, hits the 40 and will squirt out of bounds at about the 37-yard line. So with 6:54 remaining, Marist will take over on their own 42. Let's take a look back at the Mount Carmel schedule. Their first 2 games of the year were blowouts, outscoring their opponents 104-10, and then they lost their next 2 games. But they have not lost since, and that includes their 2 playoff wins over Naperville Central and Lincoln Way East.
They have been very, very impressive since that loss to Santa Rita.
Mount Carmel has given up a lot of points in the playoffs, Kenny, but
they score a lot.
Well, it's just quality of the competition.
Yes.
I don't think it's anything to be alarmed about if you're a Mount Carmel fan, the way the defense is playing. Lynch keeps for the moment, turns upfield. He'll go to about the 42-yard line, ends up turning that into a gain of about 4.
I liked where he saw there was nothing there. He put his hand on his blocker's back. Said, okay, I'll go back to the right side, and picks up some yardage.
I am really impressed tonight at the calmness with which Jordan Lynch has run this offense. Jordan looked like he's a little nicked up there, huh, Kenny?
Maybe a little favor his right leg,
maybe.
But not enough to go see a trainer.
Yeah, I mean, forget that. You're a senior.
Yeah. Man, I'm going to play.
Unless there's a protruding bone, forget it. All the seniors are going to stay in. Lynch, he'll drop back. He takes a look. He throws. His receiver was Butler, the intended target. He fell down as he made his cut, so the ball sails high and wide outside. Incomplete, 3rd down and 6.
Boy, pretty good play call, too, but Butler just fell on his route for the incomplete pass. Off a little play action, had plenty of time, and Butler, you can see right there, upset at himself. But as he went to make a cut, he stumbled on the turf. And I wanted to, you know what, Jim, it rained all day today. And it rained all last night. And that turf could be slippery because it rained most of the day today, and it rained all of last night.
And oddly enough, Kenny, usually on a field surface like this, the stripes give you a lot of tackiness. You can cut on them. I checked it out. The stripes are very slippery. 6:07 remaining in the quarter. Lynch straight back. It's a screen and has a completion. There's a lot of room in there. What a great pass by Lynch to Jack Sherlock. Takes it down inside the 35-yard line, all the way to the 33. First down, Mount Carmel. A gain of 27 on the play.
Boy,
this screen was, what a dangerous throw, number one, but what a well set up screen.
Boy, what a well set up screen, and downfield, Mike Hauser with a tremendous block, too. Boy, they were coming right after him, but boy, he sets it up beautiful.
Yes, he did.
Here it is again. Now they come all out after him. Here they come. He sets it up, and then you get the screen. Everybody's going for the quarterback, so that leaves a lot of room. But watch the block right there, and boy, you got to bring it back. They have a flag on it.
Yes, it's all coming back, Kenny.
Boy, a late flag, too.
Is it an illegal man downfield, which is one of the problems you sometimes have on a screen?
Illegal block in the back. On the offense, replay third down.
Illegal block.
It's a spot foul, so the ball comes back to the 45-yard line, where it will be third down. It says 2 on the scoreboard. It's about 2.5 almost.
What a nice screen.
It was. Well, that, you know, it's somewhat of an indication sometimes. Marist has really not gotten that good of a pass rush, and all of a sudden 3 guys came breaking free, and that's when the little light went on in the play-by-play guy's head. Wait a minute, this is a screen. Where'd that pass rush come from?
And we have a timeout.
Here is the schedule for the Marist Redhawks. Now, the one that really kind of got everybody's attention early was that win over Carmel. Then they go and they lose to Nazareth. They lost to JCA once Joliet Catholic got rolling, and then Marist finished out by winning 3 in a row. So now they get into the playoffs. And a little bit of a surprise beating Lincoln Way Central, and then the shocker last week in overtime when they knocked off Naperville North. There were 2 points in that game when they were down by 2 scores.
And they just would not quit.
Right.
And they just came back and won the game. And here we are tonight before a packed house.
That game last week, Kenny, came down to which team was going to make a kick.
And when you get a good kicking game in high school, Jim, what a plus that is. Whenever you can get a good kicking game.
We say that every time we see Brother Rice play. Get a good look at Frank Lenti. He sends Jordan Lynch back in with the play. Kind of hard. It's always hard to find Frank on the sidelines because for some reason it's very hard to pick out individual people when they're all wearing brown. You ever notice that? You walk into the Mount Carmel sideline, it looks like it's just one big guy standing down there. Lynch, he'll take the keeper, turn it upfield, and he'll lean forward after getting hit. He will have the first down at the Mount Carmel 48-yard line.
Yep, he just followed Brett Kapchek to that first down marker. I mean, when you're 3rd and 2 with a quarterback like Lynch, no surprise he's going to run the ball. Great block there by Kapchek, though.
Picard comes out of the game for the moment. And now Lynch brings him up again. Clock running. We're approaching 5 minutes remaining here in the first half. And we will get a whistle after some motion, and it looks like Mount Carmel's going to back up 5 yards.
Yeah, 4 flags came flying in. It looks like an illegal procedure.
Head ball. Illegal procedure on the offense.
4th penalty in the game for Mount Carmel.
That was one of the low spots for them last week. A lot of penalties.
They had a lot of penalties.
A lot of penalties last week.
And the killer on Lincoln Way East was a holding penalty on an 80-yard touchdown run. Lynch brings him up again. First down and 15 from the 44. Has options, uses them, pitches it back, and that just doesn't go very far. And it's Greer that's thrown down back at the 40-yard line by Tim Kingsbury. 9 on 9.
Boy, Kingsbury was not going to let him get around that corner. Great job of pursuit, stringing him out. Here it is again. Now watch Kingsbury comes in, and he's not going to let him turn that corner. He did not let him turn that corner as he brings Greer down. Nice open field tackle. Great job of pursuit by Kingsbury, who has been extremely impressive tonight from his linebacker position.
Marist trying to get off the field and get one more shot on offense. It is 2nd down on 18. Mount Carmel, little spread action going this time. Pressure from the back. Lynch gets rid of it downfield. Sliding catch made by Butler at the Marist 36-yard line. First down, Mount Carmel.
Well, remember, one went through his hands, and then he comes back and makes a great sliding catch.
Like Ryan Sanford.
I was about to say.
Under one up.
Here it is again now. Pressure from the back. He just fielded from the back. He throws it. Now watch the nice sliding catch. Right between two receivers. Nice sliding catch by Butler.
Jordan Lynch with a fine throw to move the chains and keep it going for Mount Carmel. Back to a more conventional set now for Mount Carmel. Lynch takes it, keeps it, turns it upfield. He's to the 30. Gets to the 25. He has some room. One of the defenders fell down. Touchdown, Jordan Lynch. Mount Carmel leads it 20-7 on a 36-yard touchdown run by Lynch. His 34th career touchdown.
Well, we talked about the quickness of Mount Carmel's offense, especially Jordan Lynch. I think you saw it right there, Jim, what I was talking about when I talked about quickness. His feet are so quick, and he gets just a little bit of room to run. He's off to the races.
After 9 minutes of play in this game, Marist led 7-0. Now, we have played just about 9 more minutes, and Mount Carmel has scored 21 points during that time and looking to add on 21. Nico Rodriguez in. He missed his first extra point attempt. And then Mount Carmel went for 2 after the second touchdown and made it. Rodriguez puts it up high, and that is good. 21-7 Mount Carmel.
21 unanswered points. Because of that man right there, Jordan Lynch has done a tremendous job of directing this offense. And he could beat you in so many ways.
I will tell you this, Kenny. When we saw Jordan Lynch earlier this year, he still looked like a high school quarterback. But the last 2 games we've gotten to see him play, he looks like he's taken the next step up already, even though he's still playing on a high school football field. The decision-making he displays is just at a little bit level above what most high school quarterbacks do.
And he's so quick, and he gives his blockers a chance to set their blocks. And then once they set the blocks, he gets a little hold, and he's gone. He's off to the races.
3:28 on that drive, and of course the big play on the drive was the completion to Butler.
What a great catch by Butler.
Yes, it was.
That was a key. That great sliding catch by Butler.
Now Marist is in a tough situation here because they are down now by 2 scores. There's 3:25 left, and they may really have to come out and start pitching it because they would really like to get a score before halftime. Because remember, Mount Carmel gets the ball to start the second half. Rodriguez lets it fly high and deep, and it is taken by Matthews. Comes to the 20, he gets to the outside. Matthews has some room, and he's taken out of bounds by Rodriguez at the 47-yard line.
What a hit by Rodriguez.
Rodriguez just stood him straight up. That was not exactly what I would call form tackling, but it worked.
Wow, your kicker.
Watch this.
What, you want to see the kicker get into it? You go to the sideline now. Only but the kicker and him right there. That's the kicker. What a shot. Hey, if either stop him or give him 6.
Yeah, I mean, he didn't really wrap him up, but that was effective. That's a big return, though, for Marist, and now that changes things a little bit because they have the ball nearly at midfield and they have some time. Parrish fakes to Seiler. Parrish rolls out, has a man open, has a completion, and an absolute big-time stick. Skolitsky gets his first catch of the game, and he was just smoked as he turned around, but he did pick up decent yardage.
Boy, I tell you, this is a big hit. Jim Stawowski, watch the hit. He's rolling, bring him out. Open field. Ooh. Man, that had to hurt.
Jim Stawowski making the tackle there. Second down and about 2. When you're trying to move the ball quickly and the clock is really your enemy, having 2nd and 2 is a great down to have. A lot of things you can do. Triplets to the right. Seiler takes it, goes into the line, and he looks like he might be about a yard short of a first down.
From here, it doesn't look like he had enough. Let's see what they spot.
Clock is running, by the way, with 2:15. He is indeed a yard short. 3rd down and 1.
Just a little short.
Adam Adam Lawler comes out to the right. Nick Ballett is in the slot. They'll go to a shotgun on 3rd down and 1. Seiler is the lone running back. Parrish drops, tries to step up under pressure. He can't get away. He's taken down for what will be a loss of about a yard on the play. It will be 4th down, and I think if you're Marist, you got to go here, Kenny.
I think you have to go for it, too. Seiler's in the backfield, tries to put a block on, but that didn't work. And all of a sudden, here comes the pressure.
Nathan Alley.
Nathan Alley, we've said his name a lot. He just pushed Seiler out of the way to get to his quarterback.
What Marist will need to do here, job 1, let the play clock run down. 4th down and 2 for the 45-yard line. They'll go to the shotgun again. Parrish takes a look, rolls to his right, nothing there. Now just has to freelance and try and make something happen. He cannot. He's sacked all the way back in midfield. Coming in and making the play, another sophomore, Adonis Filer.
Adonis Filer. Of course, his brother was a star here, Steve Filer. Adonis comes in with a big play. The outside linebacker. The defense of Mount Carmel has really taken control. Here to the end, scrambling. Now watch Filer coming to your screen. Touch from the left side. Filer brings him down.
Minute 10 now for Jordan Lynch and Mount Carmel to put a stranglehold on this game.
Now, do you try to go to the end zone, get another big score?
I run my option. It's been working so well. Lynch, he'll drop back and hands it off. This is straight at the middle. Greer beats a man, has a 1st down, so the clock will stop. And Greer is finally taken down at about the Marist 38-yard line.
Yep, nothing fancy. They didn't go for the end zone. You give the ball to Greer, who picks up the 1st down. And, of course, the clock will stop while they move the chains. Hit it again. Watch Greer once he gets to the outside. Go to the right, fake, gets to the outside, gets by a linebacker, and then all of a sudden he sees that 1st down marker, picks up the yardage that the Caravan need.
Inside of a minute.
But they're showing blitz. They're going to bring them all. Here they come.
Lynch back to pass. They do blitz. Lynch can't find anybody. He gets away. He's back to the line of scrimmage. Then he's taken down on a very nice open field tackle that saved a huge gain. Dave Perkle, the junior, made the tackle.
But what a great job there, though, by Lynch to notice and to see that blitz coming. He picks up the blitz, so he sees everybody coming. So he sees the hole right there, knows that the linebackers are blitzing. There should be some open room.
The Caravan will burn a timeout. And you see Frank Lenti on the sideline talking things over with his guys. And you can sense Mount Carmel knows that this may indeed be their chance to put this football game away.
Well, if nothing else, get in field goal position. Yeah, they'll get, if they get field goal position, although they will be kicking into the wind.
The Game Buster 5 Comcast recognition of the top 5 impact plays from Cn100 Game of the Week coverage, impressive offensive attacks, big defensive stops, crowd-pleasing plays that shape the outcome of the area's biggest games. It's Game Buster 5 only on Comcast On Demand. Look for details on cn100.tv. I'm going to say Greer's touchdown run, the first one.
Maybe one of them.
I think it's going to get there. I like it. I like it.
It wouldn't surprise me.
31 seconds left. 2nd down and 9 for Mount Carmel from the Marist 37. Mount Carmel going with the standard offensive set. Lynch fakes, drops back to throw. Nothing there. He's going to have to scramble. This will come back no matter what it is because of a hold, and the ball will fall incomplete at the 20-yard line.
Bring it back.
And it's going to move Mount Carmel back. It'll keep it 2nd down, and it will be 23 seconds left.
They're not in field goal position now.
And they are going into the wind.
Incomplete pass.
The first thing they're doing is to check and make sure what the outcome of the play was, and it was indeed incomplete. Yeah, I agree. You accept the penalty. You back up Mount Carmel as far as you can.
Holding on the offense. Replay 2nd down.
Yeah, you want to back them up.
Exactly. So it will be, well, the ball's all the way back at the 45-yard line of Mount Carmel. 2nd down and 27. And now Mount Carmel spreads it out. 3 receivers to the left. Lynch hands it off to Greer instead. He goes all the way up to the Marist 43-yard line, so he did indeed get half of it back. It'll be 3rd down and about 15.
Well, that's a pretty good run. Mount Carmel's going to take their last time out.
And again, it's important to point out they're facing into the wind. So whatever they're going to do here is going to have to be quick, and it's going to have to be the run after the catch.
And here it is again, though. Greer right up the middle gets a couple of key blocks. Goes right up the middle. He gets half of that back.
And we say hello to you this week from Gately Stadium on the south side. Jim Blaney along with Kenny McReynolds and Eric Schmidt as we bring you this 8A quarterfinal game.
And take a look at that crowd here at Gately Stadium. We're an empty place.
We're in the palatial suite down there in the end. We got a good spot, Kenny.
Oh, thanks to Calvin Davis, Roy Curry, and the people at Chicago Public Schools Sports Administration Office. A little warmer in here than it is out there.
Yeah,
take a look at that wind. We
were down on the field getting ready to do the open of the game, and because Kenny and I aren't very hardy, we were starting to get a little cold.
A little sensitive.
Yes.
Well, the Caravan used their timeout. Let's see if they come up with 9 seconds to go.
When's the last time you heard the song Hot Blooded? That was big time when I was in high school, Kenny.
I can say I've never heard it.
That doesn't surprise me. You didn't know who Clarence Clemens was when I brought his name up a couple of years ago. Lynch not finding anything, but just leaning forward. And remember, that play might have had a lot to do with the fact that Mount Carmel is going to get the ball to open up the second half. So Marist, they burn 9 minutes off the clock after the opening possession. They take it right down and score to take a 7-0 lead. But from that point on, Mount Carmel reels off 21 unanswered points. And at halftime in this 8A quarterfinal game, Mount Carmel leads Marist by a score of 21-0.
And again, it has been Jordan Lynch. I don't know Lynch for president, but he certainly is a great football player.
He's not eligible yet.
Yeah, right.
He's got
18.
He's got to be 35. 18 to vote, 35 to be the president.
Well, I tell you, he has been absolutely outstanding tonight, doing a great job picking up the reads, directing this offense. As the Caravan of Mount Carmel scored 21 unanswered points against Marist, most of it on the ground with Greer and Lynch. The offensive line doing a great job too, Jim, opening up the holes for those 2 outstanding runners.
2 touchdowns for Greer, 1 for Lynch, and that's the story of the game so far as we have gone through the first half here at Gately Stadium. Let's go down on the field. Here's Eric Schmidt.
Thank you, Jim. Boy, Coach, they take a 9-minute drive to open it up. You guys take 30 seconds. I didn't know you guys had such big playability.
Well, as I told you before the game, I thought one of our strengths would be that our offense might be a little quicker than their defense. And, you know, with Milton and Jordan and Byron, you know, we do have some pretty big playability at times.
Sure. Jim and Kenny were talking, too, about Jordan this season, how they've seen him and how much he's matured over the course of the year. How much does he play in this decision-making, and how much have you seen him mature, too?
Well, again, Jordan's been on the varsity since he was a sophomore. He was a backup as a sophomore. So he's a 2-year starter. He's had a great command of our offense. And we put a lot of the offense in his hands. You know, we let him make a lot of decisions out there, not only running the option, but throwing the ball as well, and the combinations of those things.
We've certainly seen it change a lot this season and had a lot to do with that. Fellas, let's go back upstairs to you.
All right, Eric, thank you so much. And Old Glory flies as the wind blows out of the north. A chilly night here at Gately, but the Mount Carmel fans are feeling pretty warm after the first half. Their team leads 21-7 at the half on the Cn100 High School Game of the Week.
You're watching the Comcast Network, Cn100 Chicago. Comcast and the Chicago Slaughter are teaming up to bring you the hard-hitting action of arena football. Cn100, the Comcast Network, is now the official home for Slaughter football. Kicking off March 2009. Visit the Sears Center to see head coach Steve McMichael lead the Slaughter into battle for the CIFL Championship. Then catch all the excitement again on Comcast Digital Channel 100 or Comcast On Demand. Order your tickets for this action-packed season by visiting chicagoslaughter.com.
Play it, pause it, fast forward or rewind. the Comcast Network. Game of the Week on demand. It's exclusive high school football coverage on your schedule. Click on demand. Go to Get Local. Click on Comcast Network. Then pick your game. You're in control. It's exclusive high school football coverage on demand from Comcast.
Just about ready for the second half here at Gately Stadium, our 8A quarterfinal game, our Cn100 high school game of the week. Mount Carmel leads Marist 21-7. Let's go down on the field. Here's Eric Schmidt.
Thanks, Jim. Coach, boy, you guys ball control that first drive, exactly what you wanted to do, but then they come back 30 seconds drive. What'd you guys talk about defensively to switch?
You know, I mean, the big thing is we got to get off blocks. They're doing a great job blocking, and our guys have to come off those blocks and just make tackles. I mean, they're fighting through some tackles right there and getting some positive gains, but we just have to come off those tackles. So. Same spot as last week against Naperville North. You guys talk about that? Absolutely. You know, our guys, they believe in each other. We've been here before, and it's something that we just got to execute, and, you know, we've got to do a better job. I know myself as a coach, putting them in a better position to win, and, you know, it's good to have another half right here. So.
Hey, what a great experience your first season. Welcome. Thanks. Good luck for the second half, fellas. Let's go back upstairs to you.
Eric, thank you so much. Let's take a look at the highlights from the opening half, and Marist really started off this game in an impressive fashion. They took the opening kick from their own 20 and just methodically drove it downfield. And this was one of the key plays of that opening drive as Parrish finds a wide open Vala and gets the ball down inside the 5-yard line. Marist had to use all their plays. They had to take it in on 4th down to go up 7-0.
Yeah, and they used all their plays, but there you see there, Parrish rolls in, leans across for the touchdown, but it didn't take long, Jim, for the Caravan to get back on the scoreboard as Greer goes off to the races, goes to the outside down. He looks back, nobody in the screen, 66 yards for a touchdown.
2 plays on that drive. So Mount Carmel missed the extra point. It was 7-6 in favor of Marist. And then here comes Jordan Lynch. This is a run where he picked up a key first down, and then later in the drive, they're going to give it to Greer again. He'll take it in for a second touchdown of the game. The Caravan made a 2-point conversion after that, knocked their lead up to 14-7. The Mount Carmel defense got the ball back for the offense. And now it's time for Jordan Lynch to show you that he's the best option quarterback in the state of Illinois.
Well, he really is. He does such a great job, Jim, running that option, and he just needs a little bit of room. He's so quick, and that's what we talked about in the open. The quickness of Jordan Lynch, could the Marist defense keep up with his quickness?
Jordan Lynch and his Mount Carmel teammates getting ready for the second half. Let's take a look at the stats for the first half. And look at the time of possession in favor of Marist. How deceiving is that?
Look at the rushing yards in favor of Mount Carmel.
Right.
173 to 39. You're right, the time of possession is unbelievable. And no turnovers, a turnover-free first half.
Mount Carmel was 3 out of 6 on 3rd down in that opening half. Marist was 1 out of 2 on 4th down in the opening half. The one they converted was the touchdown you saw a moment ago by Mark Parrish. Let's take a look at the 8A lower bracket. The group of death is what they've been calling in the playoffs. Very interesting game setting up next week no matter who wins these contests, because Hinsdale Central, a throwing team, Brother Rice, a run it, stop the run. We're not going to try and fool you. We're just going to open up holes and run you over. And that game, the winner of that game will play the winner of this game in 8A. And look at all the good teams that have just fallen by the wayside in this bracket. It's unbelievable quality of football in 8A. Here's the other half of the bracket. Schaumburg is this year's Glenbard North. They barely got into the playoffs, but they've been on a roll since. They'll meet what I think is the best defensive team in 8A, Bartlett, and then Maine South and Barrington. So Bartlett-Maine South matchup would be a little bit on the interesting side. A great offense against a great defense if it comes to pass, but we will wait and see.
There you take a look at Mr. Lynch. Mount Carmel will have the ball first, and they can't get in, so they have to stay outside and look, because there is absolutely no room in Gately Stadium tonight.
We were here for a Mount Carmel St. Rita game last year, and the crowd tonight is approaching that kind of level.
Or maybe more. It's a pretty impressive crowd.
There is the Marist faithful on the sideline. They are hoping that after they're seeing their team come from behind 13-0 last week. They can make up 14 points in this game tonight. Eric, what's going on the sidelines?
Hey, Jim, Kenny, you guys are talking about all the people here. Do you realize they played, Mount Carmel played their very first actual home game on campus this season? I'm pretty sure they would not be able to handle a capacity like this, but they did put that new field turf for a practice field, so they decided to take advantage of it and schedule their last regular season game against Hales in that one. So they're thinking about making that maybe an annual occurrence, but no definitive plans. And that ball almost went through the uprights, guys.
Eric, you should have made a play on that thing. Well, you know,
Can I fair catch back here?
Yes, but you have to signal. Well, one other thing about the field at Mount Carmel, they came to Frank Lenti a few years ago and said, you know what? The football program has done so well, let's build a football stadium. And it was Frank himself who said, you know what? Why would we want to take that much money and build something we would only use 7 times a year maximum? And that is when the decision was made to build the athletic complex that they now have at Mount Carmel that is absolutely beautiful.
But I went to a couple of sophomore games this season, and that field back there is just beautiful. It is really a beautiful field.
Jordan Lynch, he'll throw to come out to start, and he has a completion to Picard, his first of the game. He had it up about the 24-yard line before he was driven back, so it'll be 2nd down and 6.
We'll see what kind of defensive adjustments that have been made by Marist.
They need a stop. It's pretty simple right now. If they get a stop on this series before Mount Carmel can cross the midfield stripe, then they're right back in it. Greer is the lone back. 2nd down and 6. Marist looks like they'll rush for Lynch. He'll keep, gets across the 25, and boy, Lynch got hit hard at about the 26, but he was able to force his way forward and carry Kingsbury a little bit, and Lynch is about a yard short of the first down.
Yeah, we've said Kingsbury's name a lot. Here it is again. Kingsbury right there strings him out and brings him down.
Knocked out Jordan Lynch's mouthpiece.
There he is, trying to put it back in.
Yeah, now he's got to put the lid back. Oh, it was the ear pad that came flying out of there. And Lynch was furiously trying to get that thing back in there before the official says, you know what, you're going to have to come off the field or call timeout.
Okay, now the official called an official timeout for him. Now they're going to bring him back in.
Picard will come back in. Well, Picard comes back into the lineup. Lynch is getting the play. Mount Carmel is going to have to hustle up here. 3rd down and 1 from their own 29-yard line.
He's going to have to hurry, too.
Will it be Lynch? Will it be Greer? Or will it be Stanford? And Lynch keeps, turns up, has the first down, takes it all the way out to the 36-yard line. He was hit by Kingsbury again, but Lynch easily picks up the first down.
Boy, he's something else, isn't he? He is something else. You need a first down, need a couple of short yards. I'll keep it myself. Go right tackle, puts the head down, initiates the contact with Kingsbury, but he's still having trouble with that earpiece.
He's thinking, okay, playing one of the biggest games of my life, and I can't get my headgear to work properly. 10 minutes remaining here in the 3rd quarter. You just have that sense, Kenny, that Mount Carmel, they can sense a potential knockout punch here. You really do. Lynch trying to direct traffic. He has the wrong set, and he will call timeout. And, well, you don't want to back yourself up 5, but on the other hand, you sure would like to not use a timeout 2 minutes into the 2nd half.
You see, now they're coming over to work on the helmet, that earpiece. You see everybody going right to Lynch, trying to get that helmet straight.
Start with highlights from across the Chicago area, mix in interviews with coaches, players, and fans, and Sports Weekly comes to life. Join Perry Williams every Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday at 6:30 here on Cn100 for the week's most comprehensive high school sports coverage in Chicagoland. Perry's going to get about ready to get rid of that football and pick up a basketball, isn't he? Girls games start next week.
Wow.
How about that?
Man, see, just like yesterday, we were doing state playoff games for basketball.
Yeah, it does. Young and Bolingbrook, the early line for the girls. Who's going to be good?
Surprise, surprise.
I'm going to tell you right now, Kenny, Bolingbrook might go undefeated.
They're pretty good. Really good. Really good. I've had a chance to see Whitney Young girls practice twice, and I was at the boys' first practice last Monday.
First down and 10 from the 37-yard line for Mount Carmel. Lynch looks, throws, has it right on the money on the little slant pattern. First down for the Caravan. That's the second catch of the game by Jack Sherlock.
Oh, what a great play by Sherlock and Lynch. Off the option and just watch the little slant pass. Fake it right there, then just a little slant, quick slant. Boy, that's a great call.
And Lynch he's not looking at Sherlock on that play. He's faking a little bit to the left, and he's coming up firing. So there's a lot of trust that your guy is going to be there, and Sherlock was.
Throw it to the spot, not the man.
First down and 10 from the 48-yard line. Lynch on the draw, gives it to Greer. He has room, cuts it back inside across the 40. He'll carry a couple of tacklers down to the 34-yard line. Nick Dorgan had to hang on. It was an 18-yard gain for Greer.
And when Greer gets past the line of scrimmage, Jim, you know if you're the defense, you're in trouble. Here it is again, off a little play action, a little draw, and there it is. Great job of blocking. Gets by one tackler before he's finally brought down after an 18-yard gain.
Greer, 9 carries, 142 yards.
Pretty good day's work.
Greer looked at the numbers that Jordan Lynch put up last week and said, wait a minute here, who's the running back? Bunched up to the left for Mount Carmel. There's Greer again. This time goes up the middle, takes it to the 32-yard line. It was Tim Kingsbury again making the tackle, but Mount Carmel running the ball and running the clock.
Well, Jim, we saw Lynch's dad before the game, and he told, how Jordan had played a lot of elementary school ball with some of the guys here from Marist High School.
He played a lot with Bob Bullington, the right tackle for Marist in their younger days. All these guys know each other. This is an interesting matchup tonight just from the standpoint is, Marist and Mount Carmel, it's a good old Catholic League rivalry, but a lot of these kids growing up all played together, a lot of good friends on either side of the line of scrimmage. That time Greer gets about a yard, and it's a different kind of rivalry. It's not the intensity of Rita and Mount Carmel. It's more of a respectful rivalry, and again, because they're not in the same conference anymore, they don't play as often as they used to.
Right. And if I'm not mistaken, Mount Carmel has won every time they've played, right? 5-0.
And they won the playoff game 7-0 between the two teams in the 6A playoffs 20 years ago. Third down and 6 for Mount Carmel. They're going into the wind. I would suspect they'll go for it if they don't make it. Lynch, here comes the rush, drops it off, and that pass is incomplete. Stanford was the intended target, and let's see what the Caravan does here. I would go for it. I'll tell you that right now.
I think you're in pretty good position to go for it. But he didn't see Colin Molnar coming in from the backside of him. He didn't see him. He was hit just as he was ready to release the ball.
You look at it this way, if you punt it here, and for some reason you punt it into the end zone, you only pick up 10 yards. You might as well go for it.
We'll take a look at the flag and the wind.
4th down and 6 from the 30. 8-12, Mount Carmel in the air on 4th down. Lynch, he has 2 blockers. He'll cut it back up inside. He battles his way for a first down to the Marist 21-yard line.
Well, when you need a big play, he always answers it. And then again, there's Andrew Rosner again out front leading the way. Well, he just answers every challenge. The quarterback roll. Look at Rosner leading the way, saying, let me hit somebody. And Lynch with a nice spin move to get the first down.
Yeah, Lynch cut it up in between the 2 blockers, and it looked for a second like he might be stopped, but he just kept leaning and spinning and willed his way to a first down. First down and 10 for Mount Carmel. Their drive here to start the second half, mirroring the drive that Marist put together. There was movement along the line, and it looked like all sorts of people were jumping around, so let's see how Joseph Slayton makes the call.
Dead ball, illegal procedure on the offense.
He had to think about it. You could have, there are all sorts of guys you could have called for that.
Right. That's 6 penalties for Mount Carmel.
Clock will start up again. The Caravan having used 5 minutes so far of this 3rd quarter as they lead by 14. These 2 teams are going to be so happy when they get up tomorrow morning that they played tonight, because there's supposed to be about a 20-degree difference in temperature. Lynch on first down. Again, he's been taking his time. He's been very patient. Quick drop, and that pass knocked down. It was tipped at the line of scrimmage. Clay Emmerich, the linebacker, got up and knocked it down.
Yeah, Emmerich is 6'1". Jim jumps up, puts a hand up to knock it down. All he needed was a little piece of it. Here's again. Quick drop back there. Now watch Emmerich right there. Get that big paw up, spot it down.
It's a nice play.
It was a very nice play.
And an important play because now it is 2nd down and 15. Again, if Marist, Mount Carmel, I don't believe will kick a field goal on this drive. So Marist has to be thinking that we have to get 3 more plays on defense and we can get the ball back for our offense. Capjack and Butler out to the right. Lynch instead rolls to the left, has a block trying to get outside. He does. He's down to the 20, inside the 15, finally driven out of bounds, the 13-yard line. 3rd down and about 2 coming for Mount Carmel.
Boy, did you see Tim Houghton? Houghton with the nice block there. He took out 2 people. Here we go again now. Lynch decides to run. Now watch the big block right here. He'll take out 1. Somebody else wants to come in, and he'll take out 2. And there you see nothing but green turf before Lynch is finally taken out of bounds.
Lynch approaching 100 yards rushing on the game. He has 11 carries for 91 yards. Ball sitting on the 18, or check that, the ball sitting on the 13. 3rd down and 2. Lynch, gives it away. Greer just got away from everybody. Touchdown, Mount Carmel.
Boy, he went in untouched.
A great fake by Lynch. I'll be honest with you, I thought he still had it, but it's a 13-yard run by Greer. Mount Carmel now firmly in control of this game, 27-7.
Boy, what a great job of running the option. Yep, well, I tell you, as Coach Curry just said, the outside field, they did such a great outside field. Well, I tell you, this team, they were ranked preseason #1. Remember Coach Linty kept saying, no,
we got all these young guys, yeah.
I tell you what, they look like they're #1 now.
I have a hard time picturing that there are very many teams playing better football right now than Mount Carmel. And that kick is up. It drifts to the right, but it is indeed good. So Mount Carmel leading by a score of 28-7. But Kenny, that being said, with Naperville North out now, I think Maine South now becomes the team that you have to look at as being the best team in the state.
Well, you know, a lot of football to be played. Boy, but what a great fake there. Right there to Greer. Lynch does a great job. You look like he still had the ball, but gives it to Greer, goes in untouched for the 13-yard touchdown.
Let's think back a little bit on the way the Mount Carmel season has developed, because remember, after they dropped to 2-2, and you were looking at Mount Carmel's schedule, you're thinking, okay, wait a second here. Mount Carmel's 2-2. They still have to play Brother Rice, Loyola. They still had to play HF. So you were seriously thinking, wait a second here. Mount Carmel might miss the playoffs. It wasn't that far out of reality based on what was going on at that time. Well, now we know what's going on. They haven't lost since.
They haven't lost since. They took 6 minutes and 7 seconds off the clock on that scoring drive.
Opening drives of the half, both of them in this game. The one for Marist in the first half, the one for Mount Carmel in the second half. Both resulted in 80-yard drives for a touchdown. Seiler and Matthews deep to receive. It will be Matthews. Had a good return in the first half, trying to get to the outside. Does not do it. An outstanding play on special teams for Mount Carmel by number 47, Chris Barcelona, who has also been very active in the defense tonight.
And nobody touched Barcelona. He just came down untouched. He was not blocked at all, and he just had a clean shot. You know, you talked a little bit about that field behind Mount Carmel, where the practice field. The sophomores also play there. So I was there for a couple of sophomore games. Beautiful facility. And they bring up a lot of the sophomore players to play varsity during the playoffs, which I think is a great experience for these sophomores.
Yeah, we'll get a shot of the Mount Carmel sideline here in a little bit. There's a lot of guys down there. So now Parrish and the Red Hawks. They need scores. They need them quickly. They'll start with a run. Seiler, he'll go up the middle. He'll maybe get 2 yards in that play before he's turned back.
Well, they need to get on the board.
I don't know. When Sacco counted the crowd earlier, he might have missed the Mount Carmel sideline. That probably add in another 100 guys. You want, in your football program, you want to give guys the feel of just being on the sideline.
In a situation like this.
You know, and it's, for one thing, it's the reward the kids get for going to all the sophomore practices. you know, the only people they're playing in front of for the most part are their families. And then you get out on Friday night under the lights, and that'll go out to about the 25-yard line, bring up 3rd and 5 for Marist. So, and, you know, I'm impressed with the numbers that Marist has out for their program as well. I mean, they've done a nice job of building up that football program.
They really have. I think they've really, you know, snuck up on some people this season.
Just think about the talent in that area, though. You've got Marist, Brother Rice, Richards. They're all right there together.
St. Rita not far.
No, St. Rita's not too terribly far away. 3rd down and 5. Parrish really needs a completion here. Straight drop back. Here comes the rush. He'll step up. He'll let it go. Seiler has it, and he has some room. He has a 1st down. He's out to the 35-yard line. Got to the 37-yard line before Barcelona tracked him down. So a big 1st down for Marist. They keep this drive alive.
Real big 1st down for Marist. They're 2 big plays guys there. Parrish sees Seilers coming across the screen there, and all of a sudden you get a 1st down, and something they needed to have. They needed this 1st down to keep a little life going to the Red Hawks.
12-yard completion on the play. Let's go to Eric Schmidt. Eric?
Guys, you know, I asked Pat Dunn, Marist head coach, about that. All the competition is in his area for players. And, you know, he's a class of 98, his only first year coach here, but he did go to Marist, and he said he would never want to go to one of those cushy suburban schools with the good feeder programs and the players come to you. He said his goal in life at this point is to coach kids who grew up the same way he did. He wouldn't trade that for anything.
Interesting comments, Eric, and that's, you know what, and you can have a successful program if you can focus on the type of players that you want in your program. And I think Mount Carmel is really a great example of that. Frank Lenti doesn't stray away from the kind of kids that he wants to get into his program to build his team. And now we've seen Steve Nye do that at Brother Rice. He wants a little bit different kind of kid, a little bit more physical kid. And now Marist, they're trying to find that identity as well. And when you're a coach and you figure out exactly what kind of guys you need to be successful and you stick to that plan, you can have a lot of success because you start to establish, if you're this type of player, this is the school for you.
Right, this is the type of school you want to play for. Let's see what this call is.
Dead ball. Coach Smith, I'm sorry. Dead ball, illegal procedure on the offense. Dead ball, personal foul on the defense.
Okay, now we'll explain this, okay? So you have an illegal procedure on Marist. They flinch. That's it. And then
the push.
Yeah, the push is what gets you the personal foul. So that's how that was called. It ends up being the 1st down for Marist.
You get the push, and Marist will take the 1st down anywhere they can get him.
And they move it across midfield into Mount Carmel territory. Clock running now, under 3 minutes remaining in the 3rd quarter. Marist Red Hawks trying to drive to get it back down to a 2-touchdown game. Parrish drops, fakes a screen, and then just gets taken down back at the 45-yard line. Anthony Battle. We haven't heard a lot about Anthony tonight, but he got through that time.
Yeah, we haven't said his name a lot tonight, Jim, but you know when he's on the field, you have to keep an eye on Big Battle, and here he comes right there from the blind side. Parrish didn't see him coming.
He's got that body type that a Simeon Rice at Mount Carmel had, or more recently in the Catholic League, Darius Fleming had at St. Rita. That you know, I mean, look at, it's all legs. You know,
6'3", 230.
Just a long-legged guy who just gets off the ball very, very quickly. 3rd sack of the game for Mount Carmel. Parrish trying to set up the screen, pops it in the air, and it's a completion, but not very much. Got out to maybe the 43-yard line. Seiler made a nice catch on a ball that was kind of hung up in the air.
Yeah, it was hung up in the air, Jim. But I tell you, the defense of Mount Carmel, they are really, really coming. They're playing with a lot of enthusiasm and a lot of confidence right now.
And again, it's a Mount Carmel defense that gave up 52 points in their first 2 playoff games. Mount Carmel, too, Kenny, if you look at the matchups they've had in these playoffs, it's been a marquee game every week.
Every week.
It's really been amazing the way the 8A bracket has worked out. Oops. And that may be 5 free yards for Marist that will change a 3rd down and about 17 into a 3rd down and 12.
And if the Caravan hold on and win tonight, Jim, you think next week you're going to have another marquee game.
You'll either get the call.
Dead ball. Encroachment. Defense.
Yeah, the next week's matchup will either be a Catholic League rematch against Brother Rice or a marquee battle against Hinsdale Central, their quarterback, John Wentworth. Eighth penalty of the game on the Caravan.
And that's something that Coach Linty will not like.
3rd down and 12. 4 wides in the game for Marist. Again, they're in a spot where they really need to have a 1st down. Parrish back to throw. Stands in, throws it over the middle. That's tipped and nearly intercepted. Demetrius Carr saw the ball just spinning barely out of his reach. He could not haul it in.
Oh, it was tipped, and Carr makes the dive for it and just missed it. Heard it again. You had 4 wide, 2-step drop. Here's the pressure by Battle, and just Carr tips it and missed it by that much.
Remember the play we saw here last year, Kenny, in the Mount Carmel Glenbard North game where the ball got tipped and the intended receiver fell down, but the turf was wet and he just kept sliding. Remember that?
Yes.
44 seconds left in the 3rd quarter. Marist now will punt it away and hope their defense can get a 3 and out. And they'll fake it instead. Near side of the field and then kicked. And a strange looking play that is down at the 2-yard line.
Wow.
So for as weird as that looked, P.J. Saratori got off a good kick. And give credit for Marist to being disciplined on that. They didn't have anybody release early because that's the first thing I looked at was for a flag.
Yes, he runs over now. He'll just stop and kicks it with the left foot. Boy, but watch the nice play. And you bounce it down, stop it, and you stop it from going into the end zone as Dave Perkle stops it from going into the end zone.
54 yards on that punt. I have to think, Kenny, that was Saratori making that up because nobody released downfield, so therefore that was a run all the way. And now Lynch will try to operate out from his own goal line, and he hands it off to Stanford. Stanford is open. Can he win the race to the end zone? It looks like he will. A 98-yard run for a touchdown.
Wow.
Byron Stanford, his 6th touchdown of the season. 2nd long touchdown run of the game for Mount Carmel.
Wow. I tell you.
Byron Stanford doesn't carry the ball a lot, but he knows what to do with it when he gets it.
When he gets it, he knows what to do with it. Byron Stanford, his 1st carry of the night.
So he's got a 98-yard rushing average.
Not much there when they go to the inside, that outside field. That's when he goes to that outside, and they get it right there.
Now, if I were Stanford, I would tell Frank Lenti, I don't want any more carries the rest of the game. And then I would start lipping off to Jordan Lynch and to Greer and say, what was your average tonight? What a run.
Wow.
So Rodriguez in now to attempt the extra point with 19 seconds remaining here in the 3rd quarter after the touchdown.
Yeah, it's pretty good blocks there by the lineman, too.
Rodriguez puts it up in the air and makes it so 35-7 Mount Carmel.
35 consecutive points. 35 unanswered points. Here's it again. Now watch the lineman on the inside. They'll pinch on the inside, and he comes right out to the outside, and then Stanford is gone. As the lineman, they pinch him in, go to the inside, open up that outside, and boom, he is gone. 98 yards.
How great must that feel if you're a running back when by midfield you know if you can just win that race to the goal line that you're going to go in standing up, everybody in the stadium is watching you. That's got to be a pretty good feeling.
Oh, look at it. One play, 98 yards, 14 seconds. Wow. And this huge crowd has decided we may have seen enough. Hey, it's only third quarter.
Yeah, we have not reached the fourth quarter as of yet, but the Caravan's starting to pour it on. And Rodriguez in to kick once again. Matthews and Seiler back to receive again. Now, Matthews has had a couple of good returns in this game.
Well, they need a big return here.
Yeah, it's got to be tough for the Marist kids because you get a big play on special teams, you down the ball at the 2. What does Mount Carmel do? Run it 98 yards for a touchdown. Rodriguez drives it low, bounces around. Matthews needs to find the ears on it, does the 15 and gets hit at the 25-yard line. Finally turned back, and that ends that return. Among those into the tackle for Mount Carmel, Luke Coogan.
Boy, these guys are really fired up to play.
Well, now for Mount Carmel on defense, it's time to have a little fun.
Oh, yeah. And you know what? You want to have a little fun, open up a nice lead in the fourth quarter, maybe let some of those sophomores who come up to varsity's experience being in the state tournament.
Now, back when I was in high school, which was a long time ago, it was about the time you were in high school.
No, not that long.
If you were a guy that was brought up from sophomore or JV at the time, and you got into a playoff game, you lettered. You automatically lettered. So that was, and that's the way it used to be. Hence the phrase, you know, a lot of people are going to get their letter tonight.
Yeah, I would think if you just were called up, wouldn't you get the letter if you played or not?
No, we had to get on the field. I remember that. Pass on the swing, and that'll be complete out to about the 37-yard line. Adam Lawler with his first catch of the night. He pays the price and gets driven back after the catch. The Mount Carmel guys now, they're feeling pretty good about the way things are going, and they're going to be really, really aggressive on defense. That's the end of the third quarter. Mount Carmel in control, 35-7 on our Cn100 High School Game of the Week.
This fall, the IHSA football playoffs are on My 50 Chicago, Cable 8, starting November 22nd at 7. 2 teams battle for a shot at the championship in an IHSA semifinal. Then, on November 28th and 29th, My 50 carries 8 IHSA championship games. 24 hours of live coverage featuring the best high school teams in Illinois and Chicago. My 50 Chicago, Cable 8, your source for IHSA football.
As a reminder to our viewers, the My 50 IHSA Network semifinal game and the Thanksgiving weekend state championship games can be seen on Comcast Channel 8. Apart from the great coverage by our friends from the IHSA Network, our Comcast Network is bringing you 2 quarterfinal games this weekend and 2 semifinal games next weekend right here on Cn100. Comcast is proud to partner with the IHSA to showcase the best in Illinois high school sports.
Well, now, I'm sorry, Jim.
I was just going to say, fourth quarter about to get underway.
And the Mount Carmel defense, they will have a lot of fun now.
Mount Carmel has had 7 possessions in this game, Kenny, and they have scored 5 touchdowns.
Wow. Well, the delay is a chain game. Didn't move to the end of the field.
They were.
You forgot.
They were kind of soaking it in down there. You know what? I will say this, that while some of the parents have exited the Marist sideline, the student body's still there. They haven't gone anywhere. Supporting their classmates. Swing pass to the outside, and boy, a very active Mount Carmel defense led by Jeremy Johnson getting over there to make the tackle on the play.
Yeah, say, Jim, with a big league like this, these guys are coming all out. They're having a lot of fun. Like you said, they're very aggressive. You'll get a lot of guys in, give them a chance to play. For guys that don't normally play, to take a look at the Marist student body.
Yep, they're all still packed in there. They haven't gone anywhere. Parrish will work out of the shotgun on 1st down and 10. Parrish back to throw, sideline pattern, has his man, and trying to battle his way out of bounds after the completion was Pico.
Well, Pico's done a great job of breaking tackles. Once he's hit, he's very difficult to bring down. He has shown that all night.
Second down and 1 coming up from the 49-yard line. The guy that Mount Carmel has really taken out of the game is Nick Valla. He has 12 receiving touchdowns on the season. He's lined up slot left right now, and Valla and Lawler not looking sure about what the play call is. They come in and get it from Parrish. Parrish again throws the other side of the field, and he threw it behind Pico, incomplete.
Yeah, he threw it behind Pico. I wonder if Pico knew what the play call was, because he was coming on the slant, and that ball went right behind him. Not many things going right at this moment for Marist.
But if you're going to have the ball hit the ground, have it happen on 2nd and 1. 3rd and 1 right now. Parrish, he'll hand off, and Seiler looked for a moment like he was going to get the first down, but Jeremy Johnson, the leading tackler for the Mount Carmel Caravan, he comes up and makes the play, and he's the guy that took over Steve Filer's spot.
Well, and I tell you, you see right there why he is the leading tackler on this team. He is so quick off the ball, and he can just shed his blockers and get to that ball carrier.
Chris Barcelona just ran off the field. He was the 12th man. I've never seen somebody run so fast to get off the field. 4th down for Marist. And Parrish is absolutely smoked. And again, it was Jeremy Johnson.
And you can see the young lady there shaking her head. I think Parrish must feel as Johnson comes in and just gets a clean shot. Here it is again. Now watch Johnson. He'll just come in untouched right there. Ooh, that hurts.
Mount Carmel will take over on the Marist 41-yard line.
I'm sure they'll run a lot of clock now, try to keep on the ground.
And indeed, they make a change at quarterback. They bring in the backup, Chris Soika. So Jordan Lynch's work is done. The next time he'll step onto the field would be next weekend, either at Brother Rice or Hinsdale Central. Let's go downstairs to Eric Schmidt. Eric?
Thank you very much, Jim. I think I found the only guy other than Frank Lenti that knows more about Mount Carmel football. Frank Lenti Jr., 02 state championship. I got to first ask you, I know you've seen this team a couple times. Who'd win that game?
Oh, gotta go with the 02 team. You got Greg Owens and Danny O'Brien, you know, running the ball around the field. I gotta go with the 02 team.
I'd question you if you didn't say that, but that's okay. Hey, but growing up in that household, I mean, how cool was it to, you know, experience all of your dad's success and then be a part of it too?
It was awesome to just be around the guys all those years, and, you know, just to kind of be around the traditions and, you know, just kind of live them as a young guy, and then finally just go through the ranks, you know, freshman, sophomore, and finally get to put on the jersey and, you know, go through the experience yourself. It was just an amazing time.
Now, you got to go down to Illinois, play some wide receiver and a placeholder as well, and you made a decision after you graduated to stick around for that 5th year. Looking back on that, how does that decision play, getting to go to a Rose Bowl?
Well, you know, there's nothing you could say about, you know, it's hard to put into words. To play in a Rose Bowl and to go 9-3 in the regular season, you know, beat #1 Ohio State out there. It made those 4 years, those 4 tough years, all worth it. Just that 1 year alone, and you know, that definitely it's hard to go against the decision to stick around. So,
well, you even made the decision to stick around a little longer. You're working down there for the athletic department, Frankie. Thanks so much for taking some time with us, fellas. Let's get back up to you.
All right, Eric, thank you so much. And is it fair to say that Frank Sr. is not the tallest guy in the world? Frank Jr. must have gotten height from the mom's side of the family.
I think so.
He's go about what, 6'2", 6'3"?
Easily.
Soika pitches it out. Denzel Thompson, and he is wrapped up all the way back at the 33-yard line. I checked that. That was Byron Stanford. That's a huge carry because that's going to be a loss of about 5 yards on the play, which means now he has had 2 carries for 93 yards.
Yeah, so his 98-yard average.
So his average has gone from 98 down to about 46 and a half.
But I think he'll be okay with it.
Yeah.
It's really a classy move, though, by Coach Lenti. Take the starters out, you don't want to rub it in, and also you give these youngsters some experience, because now, you're coaching for the future.
Soika drops back. He'll run it back up the middle, take it down to about the 28-yard line. And again, it's not a bad idea to get your guys some time, because number one, Soika's going to be the guy next year, number one. But number two is you never know. You never know when you might need to press guys into service. And let's face it, the microscope only gets more intense over the course of the next couple of weeks.
Yeah, and you get these guys in. There's nothing like game competition. You never know when you may use them or need them, so you need the experience.
7:09 remaining. Well, Mount Carmel knows this. This is their last home game of the year. Soika back to throw, lets it fly, puts it right on the money. That's complete. Sherlock gets it, his third catch of the game, and he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Mount Carmel.
Boy, he broke a couple of tackles, Jim, avoided a tackle, and goes in for a touchdown.
41 unanswered points by Mount Carmel.
Very impressive.
Well, we were here for that Julian Hubbard game, and I know Julian ran back the opening kick, and then Hubbard scored what, 45, 52?
45, 52, something like that.
Unanswered points, something like that.
52.
Yeah.
I don't think we'll get 52.
So the two games that we have seen at Gateway Stadium this year have been very, very similar.
Always fun to come to Gateway Stadium.
Rodriguez in to attempt the extra point. Low snap, late placement, but nice job of holding the ball by Soika, and it goes through. And Mount Carmel now leads it 42-7.
Now 42 unanswered points. But watch the individual effort, though. Here it is again now. Scramble, scramble. Now as he makes the catch, that's a pretty good catch, too. He doesn't bring it back down. Steps aside. Thank you, sir. Whoops, you're not going to get me here. Breaks a couple of tackles. Touchdown. But I like the way he gets away. All right, here he'll go up, brings it down. He'll step to the side, say, no, you're not going to get me, and I'll just go right into the end zone. Thank you very much. And as Dave Purple tried to get him high, that didn't work. Touchdown, Caravan.
Sherlock has had some big catches in this game. 6-play drive that time, burning off 3:15. Let's go downstairs to Eric Schmidt. Eric.
Jim, we were just talking about that, Frank Lente Jr. and I, about Soika. He said he's going to be the guy next season, and it's not so much the experience on the Friday nights here, but Frank said the key for Soika to prepare for next year is he spent all season learning from Jordan Lynch, and that's exactly how Frank Lente likes to do it. Jordan Lynch came up his sophomore year, learned from the guys there, and it's really kind of that family atmosphere that Mount Carmel's really providing.
It is an unbroken string, Eric, of quarterbacks at Mount Carmel, and they've done a very good job at developing those guys over the years. And you go back to guys like Donovan McNabb and Mike McGrew, and then down to Jordan Lynch and Chris Soika, the next guy in line. That kick well into the end zone will go out of bounds. And Marist will start out from their own 20-yard line.
And I'm sure now we'll get some reserves in on the defensive end. Get some guys in that haven't had a lot of chance to play.
How about the year that Donovan McNabb is having? Wasn't he supposed to be done?
Yeah, boy, if he's done, I'll take him.
He is having a great.
He's having a great year.
He's having a great year, and of course, Mount Carmel retired some numbers and honored some of their past players, McNabb and Simeon Rice being among them. But they don't have their picture on the wall in Frank Lenny's office. And I'll finish the story in a second. Here comes the rush. Parrish throws, has a completion, and Dallas steps out of bounds. The one picture of a past player in Frank Lenny's office is a young man, and I apologize that I don't remember the name, but he went on to become a Secret Service agent and is one of the guys that actually protected one of the past presidents. Wow. Was a Mount Carmel grad and a former Mount Carmel football player. First down and 10. A disappointing end to the season for Marist. They had an incredible victory. That pass is picked off along the sideline and returned all the way to the 25-yard line. That was Ed Antonetti picking up his third interception of the year.
Yep. In 5'11", junior, Antonetti just stepped right in, comes away with the interception. That's the first turnover of the game. Do it again. Now, you know he's going to pass, so you just put in your cover two, and Antonetti just stepped right there. Boy, he's the closest man to the ball. everything going right for the Caravan. It has become a long second half for Marist.
It will become a long trip back to the Marist. Not that far.
No, not that far.
Not that far, but it's sure going to feel like a long way. But, you know, let's be honest about the Red Hawks season. What a great year they had. A 2-loss team coming into the playoffs. Anytime you go 7-2, that's a pretty good year. Soika tackled. And, you know, they had what you will probably look at as the biggest surprise victory of these playoffs when they beat Naperville North last week.
No question about it. They snuck up on a few people, and then, you know, they knock off Naperville North. And I don't think anybody gave them a chance against Naperville North.
And you look at Marist next year. Parrish is back. Pico is back. Vala is back. So you got a lot of playmakers coming back on offense. And then you have a handful of juniors on defense. As a matter of fact, your whole defensive secondary is coming back next year. So I will guarantee you on the ride home tonight, the Marist juniors are going to be sitting there and thinking, you know what? I'm really disappointed this season is over, and I cannot wait until mid-August we can get the pads out again and start.
Yeah, but one of the key things, Parrish is back.
Right.
And I think anytime you get a quarterback as good as he is, you know, he came into tonight's game with over 1,800 yards passing.
Right.
As a junior. So he's back next year. I think that's going to be a really exciting time right there for Marist.
3rd down and 6 for Mount Carmel. Soika still at the controls. And we will get a whistle and a flag. Most likely. When you don't even run a play and you get a whistle.
Dead ball. Illegal procedure on the offense.
Did they maybe have a few too many people out there?
Let's see. I didn't see
or
it.
Got a guy off late. Anyway, the clock will roll again. Just waiting to see where we get to go next week now, Ken.
Yeah, yeah. Should be exciting wherever we go.
A lot of good possibilities out there.
A ton of possibilities.
Denzel Thompson is in the backfield along with Coogan. And Soika was told let the clock run down to this time and then get the football snap. He'll roll out to his left, runs into some trouble, scrambles, goes at the middle, and there's a bunch of angry seniors out there right now playing the final moments of their high school career, and Soika doesn't go very far.
Yeah, it wasn't much there, and I'll tell you what, the Red Hawks really came.
Tony Laporta comes in and makes the tackle.
Like you say, it may be a disappointing end, but what a season they had, the Marist Red Hawks.
And we will get a timeout called by Marist.
Maybe give them a chance to get a few more underclassmen onto the court, onto the field.
Where will Kenny and I be next week? Well, we'll be somewhere. Game of the Week's postseason coverage concludes with semifinal action. Tune in to Cn100 on Saturday, November 22nd at noon to see who advances to the state finals in Champaign. For game matchups plus additional air dates and times, visit cn100.tv.
And, you know, we talk about how you like to bring up the sophomores, let them play. There's one linebacker, starting outside linebacker in Mount Carmel sophomore team, Victor Rivera. He didn't get a chance to come up. He injured his shoulder, and he missed the last few games, so he couldn't come up to the varsity for the playoffs. So we want to wish Victor Rivera, the starting outside linebacker on the sophomore team, a speedy recovery from that shoulder injury, because you work so hard as a sophomore. You want to get called up for the varsity for the playoffs, but Victor had his shoulder injury, but hopefully he'll be fine and he'll be able to play next season.
And one of the things in the minds of the Mount Carmel seniors is the fact that, okay, we got this far last year, but we didn't finish it off. And I am sure the motivation for Mount Carmel will be, we do not want our season to end in the semis as it did last year.
Close it out.
4th down and 11. Soika will keep. He'll take it up the right side, and the ball is on the turf, and it really doesn't matter. He didn't have enough for a first down, but it will go down as a turnover and a recovery by the Marist Red Hawks.
First turnover of the game for the Caravan.
Maybe he was trying that Oakland Raider holy roller play.
Here's it again. Now he's going to get the quarterback keeper there. Fakes the pitch back, and let's see where the ball comes out. There you see it squirting out on the way down. Reaching out. Give me that ball. Yeah, like you said, he was short. Didn't have the first down anyway.
So the Marist offense coming back onto the field. And Marist now with a change at quarterback as they get Steve Marzurski into the game. 5'9", senior. So he gets a chance to get a couple of snaps as he'll see his high school career come to an end. It's so hard to get a high school kid to understand, Kenny, that your high school career, and not just in football, your playing career is so short and it goes by so quickly. And that, I will guarantee you, that is going through the minds of all these Marist seniors, is where did it all go? It seems like just yesterday I was out at that first freshman football practice in August, and I figured out very quickly that I really wasn't as big and strong as I thought I was, which is always what happens to you when you're a freshman.
Then 4 years later, you're on the field.
You're on the field and you're playing in mid-November and you're looking up the clock and saying, I have 3:34 left in my high school career.
See, at this point in the game, if I'm the quarterback, man, I just go to shotgun and I just let it go.
Yeah, you
go deep, young man, go deep.
You check off the play and you move everybody into double slots. And let's go.
Let's go. Everybody goes, hey, you go as far as you can run. I'm going to throw it as far as I can throw it. See if you can catch it.
You see for Marist right now on every snap of the football, just all sorts of people shuttling in and out of the game. 3 minutes remaining. 3rd down and 9. Mazurski loses the handle on the football, bouncing around on the turf, and let's see who has no indication as of yet who recovered it. Mount Carmel comes out with it, and they have the football.
Well, they get it right back. Well, they lose it. They get it right back. Mike Butler comes away with the ball. Here it is again. Yeah, he never had possession of the ball from the snap. And you see the loose ball, and there you see right there. Butler just reaches down and comes up with it. Mount Carmel's ball. He never had possession of it from the snap.
Really amazing when you think about it. As far as we are into the playoffs, and this game up until the outcome became no longer in doubt, there weren't any turnovers in this game.
No.
Everybody did a good job of taking care of the football tonight. And this handoff will go up the middle, and well, again, Stanford getting. Let's see, is that Stanford or is that Denzel Thompson?
It was Stanford.
Marist guys won't get out of the way. I can't see the number from this far away. And that was, I believe that was Thompson, number 23.
Oh, 23 instead of 33.
Thompson's still in the game. 2:19 remaining, 2nd down and 2. You would expect that Mount Carmel would run something up the middle here, get the first, and then they can take some knees and finish out the football game. Handoff up the middle and down inside the 2-yard line, and that is more likely than not where this game is going to come to an end.
Yeah. Now, I'm sure they'll just take the knee. Very impressive performance by the Caravan.
They have picked up steam. They have gotten better every year. Soika, and he hands off and maybe down to the 1-yard line. You're having a little trouble in piling the guys down there. They're all kind of tangled up. 1:25 left.
Wow, when this team lost to St. Rita, and they were 2-2.
Right.
Yeah, who would have thought they'd be going to the semifinal?
Right, exactly, because you were, and we discussed it a little bit earlier. You looked at the schedule and you looked at the way Mount Carmel had played. And, you know, maybe, too, we should put a little asterisk by the loss against Providence, because that was during the remnants of the hurricane that weekend, where it rained so hard and the field in New Lenox was just a quagmire. So maybe there was a little bit too harsh of a judgment based on that loss. And also, you have to remember, we didn't realize the beating up of each other the Catholic League blue teams were going to do.
Goodness.
I mean, basically in that league, nobody won on the road. The one team that did was St. Rita, and they won the league. That was the whole difference in winning the league. Into the final half minute now. One more kneel down, and that will do it. And Soika will indeed take a knee. 20 seconds left. The clock will run out, and that'll do it. Mount Carmel gave up the first 7 points of the game, but after that, they reel off 42 points in a row, and they win this 8A quarterfinal game by a final of 42-7. They advance on to the semifinals. That is where they got to last year before they were knocked off. In the Caravan, knowing they are 2 wins away from unfinished business. Our final score, Mount Carmel 42, Marist 7. We're back to wrap it up in a moment on the CN100 High School Game of the Week.